The barn was quiet in the way only forgotten places ever were, thick with dust. Old hay and memories no one wanted to claim. Morning light slipped through the cracked wooden slats, falling in pale stripes across the dirt floor where she lay barely conscious, her breathing shallow, her body aching from days of hunger and fear. Her name was Eliza Crow, once the daughter of a schoolteacher, once a woman with plans. Now she was nothing more than a problem dragged onto Jonah Hale's ranch and left where problems were meant to disappear. Jonah Hale was known across the territory as a good man, a fair rancher, a man who paid his debts and kept order. That reputation was exactly why the sheriff had left Eliza in his care after finding her half dead near the trail. "She'll be safe with you," the sheriff had said. "You'll do right by her?" Jonah had nodded, calm as ever, and carried her into the barn himself while the town rode away relieved. When Eliza woke, she saw his boots. First, clean, well kept. The boots of a man who didn't struggle, the way others did. She tried to sit up, but pain crushed her ribs. Jonah crouched beside her, his face unreadable, eyes steady, calculating. He checked her wounds carefully, efficiently, like a man inspecting damaged property rather than a wounded soul. "You're lucky," he told her. "Most don't make it this far." She whispered thanks, believing, foolishly, that luck had finally turned. Jonah fed her, gave her water, and let her rest. For 2 days she believed she had been rescued. But on the third morning everything changed. Jonah brought papers into the barn. Old documents. He sat beside her and spoke gently, explaining that the land she'd collapsed on had once belonged to her late father, that unpaid debts had swallowed it whole, that by law she now owed Jonah for medical care, food, and protection. "You don't have money," he said calmly, "so you'll work." At first it didn't sound cruel. Ranch work was hard but honest. But Jonah didn't mean work like feeding horses or mending fences. He meant years. Endless years. No pay, no leaving. He had the law on his side, papers signed by men who were long dead, loopholes only he understood. When Eliza protested, Jonah's kindness vanished. He didn't strike her. He didn't shout. He simply turned away, closed the barn doors, and left her there without food for a full day. Then another. That was when she realized what made Jonah Hale dangerous. He didn't need violence. He used silence, law, and patience, tools sharper than knives. By the end of the week, Eliza understood the truth. Jonah hadn't saved her life. He had claimed it, and as the barn swallowed her sobs, Jonah Hale returned to the house above. Respected by the town, praised as a man of honor, while the woman in his barn slowly learned what true cruelty looked like. Eliza worked until her hands bled and her spirit thinned like worn cloth. From dawn to dusk, Jonah watched from a distance, never raising his voice, never touching her in anger. That restraint was what broke her. Every order was spoken politely. Every cruelty delivered with reason and paperwork. If she collapsed, Jonah noted it like an expense. If she cried, he ignored it like bad weather. Weeks passed. Then months. The town never suspected a thing. Jonah donated to the church. He hosted Sunday meals. He spoke warmly of helping a troubled woman get back on her feet. And sometimes, only sometimes, he would allow Eliza into town, dressed clean, silent, watched. No one noticed the way she flinched when Jonah spoke her name. One night, Eliza discovered the final truth by accident. While cleaning Jonah's office, she found a ledger, names of others before. Her, women, drifters, orphans, all helped, all erased. Jonah didn't exploit bodies. He erased people. He used the law to turn mercy into a trap and survival into a sentence. She was never meant to leave. That knowledge did something strange. It didn't break her. It hardened her. Eliza began to learn. She memorized Jonah's routines, copied his numbers, studied his contracts. The same intelligence that once made her a teacher's daughter now became her weapon. Months later, when a land inspector arrived from the capital, Eliza slipped him a single page from Jonah's ledger. 1 page was all it took. Jonah Hale was arrested quietly. No struggle. No dramatic shootout. Just iron cuffs placed on clean wrists. The town stood stunned. The good man, the fair rancher, the monster who never needed to raise a hand. As Jonah was led away, he finally looked at Eliza, not with anger but disbelief. He had never imagined the woman in the barn would outthink him. Eliza left the ranch at sunrise. She didn't look back.